this video we're going to talk about a quality hackamore, what a quality hackamore is and what a non-quality hackamore is. This is a good quality hackamore. I've used this one on the previous videos. I really like this hackamore. You can see it's the rawhide is conditioned well. It's good quality rawhide, and it's proportioned well. It's got a nice short nose button. The cheek pieces are proportioned right, and the heel knot is proportioned right too for the rest of the hackamore. And it's got a lot of flexibility. It's a soft hackamore, but it's also got some spring to it, and you can see it's got a good shape to it for the horse's nose. This hackamore has a rawhide core, so that's what creates the flexibility in this hackamore and the spring, and what creates a good quality hackamore. Here I've got a few factory-made hackamores. The first one here is, this one's a very stiff, light hackamore. So you can see it's very stiff. The rawhide is very abrasive and stiff. I don't know what the core is on this one. It's obviously not rawhide. And you can see the shape on this one compared to this one is not at all the same. This one's nice and oval for the horse's nose, and this one's not. It's way too wide in here, too narrow in here, and then too narrow in the bottom here. So this is the hackamore I used earlier in the tack room to demonstrate a non-quality hackamore. This is a factory-made hackamore. So the first thing is, you can see it's way too big. It's long. There's a lot of space in the side here. There's a lot of space underneath here. So it's real floppy on his nose, up and down, left and right, all that stuff. And the nose button is way too long. So on a good hackamore, it should be proportioned from about here to about here, so probably 2 inches shorter, a good 2 inches shorter on the nose button there. And then the hanger here is another thing that I don't like. This is a bridle headstall, so it's very stiff, and it's very bulky too. And in here, when this is tied here, if the hackamore should be fitting nice and snug on the cheek here. So if it's fitting right, this piece in the center here is going to rub on his cheek here. So it's not at all beneficial there. So let me demonstrate a little bit on the reins. If I be riding him, I'll give him my signal. So there he's kind of giving to it a little bit, but there's so much room and so much play, the signal is really dulled out, and he doesn't really know what I'm asking of him. So you can see there's a lot of hackamores really moving around because of the size. And also when I lift on the rein in the headstall here, it really bulges out, and that's because of the stiff leather. I don't want that. I don't like that. I want it to lay nice and flat on the cheek on the side of his face. Here I've got another factory-made one, and this one is a very heavy hackamore, very coarsely braided. So you can see it's very stiff. It's even stiffer than this other one. This one has a cable core. That's what creates the heaviness. And the stiffness too. And this one you can't shape either very well, just like with the lighter one. So you can see it might have a little better shape, but it's still not a good quality hackamore. The rawhide is dried out and very rough. So this is another hackamore I used in the tack room to demonstrate more of an abrasive hackamore and a heavy hackamore. So one's very large, too large too. In the nose, you can see it's flopping around a lot. Very loose fitting. Now the nose button on this one is better. It's a little shorter, but it's still proportioned a little too long for my preference. And you can see the braiding on this is very coarse, so it's very abrasive. And this one's very heavy and very stiff. So when you signal, I'll try to signal here. The reins, I'm riding, I signal. You can see how when I let go of that rein, that heel knot really wants to bounce. So it's a very heavy signal. And if I were to really do this with it, it could really slop around on the horse's nose and cause a lot of damage in the horse's training, in the schooling process. When you go buy one or choose one, make sure, don't go to a factory and buy a factory-made one. Go to a maker that specializes in making good quality hackamores, and make sure you know what kind of core the hackamore has. You want a rawhide core because that's what's gonna dictate whether you've got a stiff, flexible hackamore with a nice spring to it, or not a stiff hackamore, a flexible hackamore that's got a nice spring to it, or whether you've got a stiff hackamore. You don't want the stiff hackamore, you want a nice flexible hackamore. That's all I've got for this one.